apart. Just because I'm presuming that I could be kind of human if I only had a heart.
Good afternoon. My name is Christy Cardillo, and this is the Bradenton Kiwanis Club. Thank you for being here. Special welcome to our guests. It's great to have you. If you would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And if you remain standing, Andy Meyer is going to come up and give us our invocation.
Will you pray with me? Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for this opportunity to come before you today, Lord. I want to bless every member of this club and always remember that everything we do is for the children of Manatee County and for their betterment. In your precious name I pray, amen. Amen.
You may be seated. Thank you, Andy. So we have many guests in the meeting today. We want to give a special welcome to our Manatee County Fair guests. They're in red, if you didn't know that. And we'll hear from them later. If any of our guests are interested in joining Bradenton Kiwanis, please. Neil's back there saying Tim Girders.
No, it was Andy.
Oh, it's Andy. Oh, that's a lot of pressure. Okay, well, if anyone would like to join, please see any of our officers or our membership committee chairs, Sharon Barhorst or Jack Powers. We'd love to talk to you about it. We have a great group here, and we'd love for you to join the Kiwanis family. So we have a few announcements, not very many, since we're all just coming back from the holidays and just getting back into the swing of things. We want to welcome everyone who's here in person today. Want to remind everyone that the theater does have a mask mandate, that you do need to wear it if you're not eating or up here talking like me. Please make sure that you do put it back on once you finish with your meal. And thank you for making it easier for us to have our in-person meetings. All of our meetings are being held on Zoom and in person. If you do want to attend an in-person meeting, you do have to buy a ticket in the box office the Friday before the following Tuesday's meeting. In order to be counted, the tickets are $13.50. That pays for your meal. Let's see. We are, so at this time, I'm going to ask Neil Unruh to come up and give our Kiwanis history.
Thank you, Christy. Pinch hitting for Gilbert, so we'll see how it goes. Can we dim the lights?
What?
Oh, no, that's not part of the script. It's 1945. And World War II continued to be on everybody's mind because it literally affected everyone. But as I hope to demonstrate, as the war continues, Bradenton Kiwanis keeps focused on its mission to change the world one child at a time. In our first slide, this is a January 1, 1945 front page of the Bradenton Herald. This edition highlights General George Patton and the Army's progress in pushing the German Army out of Belgium towards Berlin. At that time, Adolf Hitler makes the bold statement that the war will not end unless Germany is the victor and vows to never surrender. This is a photo of Elon Rood. On Thursday evening, January 4, 1945, at the Ladies' Night and Installation Dinner, Elon Rood is sworn in as the 1945 President of the Bradenton Kiwanis Club. President Rood was an ideal leader of the club since he was a successful businessman, a charter member, and demonstrated being a leader in volunteering time to civic and community causes. Elon was born in 1888 in Wichita, Kansas, the same place I was born. And when he was young, the family moved to DeLand, Florida, where his father went into the citrus business. After the Great Freeze of 1898, Elon's family moved south to Manatee County by boat and settled in the Cedar Hammock area to farm citrus and vegetables before going to work in the business at an early age. At 19, he got his first job working at the Bank of Manatee, which later became the First National Bank of Bradenton. Elon was successful in various businesses, including banking, retail, and real estate. In the 1930s, he became a distributor for Pioneer Oil Company, which he passed down to his son when he retired. While he was building his businesses, he was also volunteering in the community. He was a 32nd degree Mason, a member of the First Presbyterian Church of Bradenton, and baseball enthusiast who was in the group with R.M. Bell, which brought the St. Louis Cardinals to Bradenton in 1922. Elon died on January 30th, 1952, at 63 years old. He left behind a legacy of success in family, business, and community service. Next slide is a photo of President Harry Truman. On April 12, 1945, President Roosevelt dies at Warm Springs, Georgia, and the Vice President, Harry Truman, is sworn in as president. This photo is of Truman with Russian premiers Joseph Stalin and Great Britain's Prime Minister Winston Churchill in July of 1945. After success by Allied forces against Germany, the suicide of Adolf Hitler marked the end of the evil empire. The war against Germany is over, and with its surrender on May 6th of 1945. The United States, however, is faced with the continued war in the Pacific and prepares to invade Japan. This slide is from August 5th, 1945 of the Bradenton Herald on the proposal and creation of Boys Club of Manatee County. This is explaining the evolution of the Boys Club. July 31st, 1945, at the regular luncheon meeting, Colonel Maynard Ashworth spoke about the success of the Boys Club in Columbus, Georgia in its 8th season. He encouraged the club to begin a Boys Club program in Manatee County. Then on August 3, 1945, leaders of the club met at the American Legion with men who were interested in organizing the Boys Club of Manatee County, an affiliate of the Boys Club of America. Later that year, Kenneth Corwin, executive director of the Manatee County Boys Club, was the guest speaker at a luncheon meeting. This slide is from August 6, 1945, on the dropping of the atomic bomb. A day after the article about the Boys Club, President Truman decides to end the war. On August 6th, the first bomb was dropped on Nagasaki, and on August 6th, not the same day, second bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. This is regarding the surrender of Japan. Just a few days after that second bomb has been dropped, spirits soar in America and beyond with the end of the war with Japan. In the following weeks and months, servicemen and women from Manatee County are discharged and return home to their families. Then at a regular meeting on August 14th, the club voted unanimously to support the first Sea Scout program in Manatee County. On September 4, 1945, at the regular luncheon meeting, there was a homecoming as the club welcomed 2 members back from World War II, Charles Ward from the Army and Paul Richardson from the Navy. Then on September 18, 1945, the club welcomed Dr. Wendell Wenzel from the Army Air Corps. This is the ballpark on 9th Street. It's been McKechnie Field and now Lecom Field. The same meeting, R.M. Bell convinced the club members to pass a resolution encouraging the city of Bradenton to allocate money to improve the baseball park on 9th Avenue to attract Major League Baseball teams for spring training in the area. On November 27, 1945, at the regular luncheon meeting, William Ulysses Bill Lathrop Jr. was elected as the 1946 president, along with Candler Brooks and Paul Davis as vice president. William Day as Secretary and Treasurer, and R.N. Bell, A.S. Hall, Lloyd Hicks, Dr. W.D. Sugg, B.H. Pope, Wilbur Smith, and Perry Walter as directors. With World War II over and a strong economy, membership in the club began to grow. By the end of 1945, the club had inducted many new members and looked forward to the next year, as will you for next week.
So, at this time, before we introduce our speaker, in the spirit of our fair that's coming up, we are hosting a donut hole eating contest. So we have some willing contestants here to compete against each other for a huge prize. Very willing. And I'm not getting up there and eating donut holes with y'all, so I brought a proxy for me. Mr. Critters is going to stand in for me. So to incentivize our contestants, I am putting up as the prize a $1,000 donation out of the President's charitable funding to be donated to a 501c3 charity of the winner's choice that is within the mission of Bradenton Kiwanis, which is making a lasting difference for families in our community, a community dedicated to the success of children and families. So, if the contestants would make their way to the table in the back so we can start to set up for our contest. I believe Mr. Minor is going to be our judge. He wore his red jacket. All right. So be thinking of your charity as you board yourselves. Nobody wants to change with Mike? Come on.
Oh, yeah, that's gracious.
So there's so many donut holes in the box. Did Tim just tell you good luck?
Wow.
So, and now,
How many
Mac
times
is,
they have?
No, it's whoever finishes 25 first.
So-
There's no time limit.
there's no
Correct.
time limit, you just have to call.
We just want you to tell how long it took.
Oh, okay.
This will now become an annual thing.
Yes, every year we're gonna do a donut eating contest. I might not always bring Tim though, unless he joins.
Would it?
Have your bottle of water. Look at this.
Right, yeah, get a bottle of water, because that's every good eating contest, you have your water. Oh, this is gonna be awesome.
You gotta wear a mask between.
No, we'll find out about an hour later how awesome it was. You saying about that suit?
See, this is why you should just volunteer, because she won't take no for an answer.
Is this with or without hands?
All right.
No, you can use your hands. You can use your hands.
Challenge.
Gentlemen, is everybody ready?
Not really.
Is everybody prepared for what we're about to do?
Not really.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh my God.
Hey, you guys are chewing too much.
This is gonna take a while. Hang on, it's ringer.
Come on, you got this.
You can do it, Chris.
Ready for prime time.
Why they eat that chili dog?
Tim, make me proud.
Can y'all tell that Tim grew up in a big Catholic family?
All right, 30 seconds in.
Come on. This is boring.
I'm not pulling for you, Brett. You better get there, buddy. You should be out.
Come on, Brett, you can get 2 down.
Brett, why you hold back?
You need some music going.
I know, but we'll think of that next year. You know what we forgot? We forgot puke buckets.
Well. Next year.
That would definitely be the end, Brett. How many's he got left?
Oh, let's see.
23.
Probably 11. You're doing great, guys. How are you doing over here?
Not well.
This is an hour-long program.
So we got the chowder out.
There we go. Some music going down. I love it.
Put that up there. Hold it right up.
Right up.
Hold it by the mic.
There you go.
Stop at somebody.
Pipe thing.
So keep on going.
It's almost over anyway, right?
Let's go, come on! Tim needs his wife to yell at him.
The song is 2 minutes and 18 seconds long. But that's
They only got, you got 2 minutes, come on, let's go!
You got some with jelly in them. Order a glass of milk.
You can't get the jelly down?
So are we gonna stop at the end of the song?
No.
No, we're not. We're just gonna keep going.
No, I'm gonna start over.
Oh, so we're gonna keep on repeat.
We gotta finish.
No, Brett doesn't want to start over.
What do I do for the floor?
Are y'all getting tired? It's like,
Well, like Christy did that, she has her particular folks that she wants to have money given to.
That's 2 minutes in.
3 minutes, I'll never get back. At least it's on tape.
Brett made a big comeback.
Ooh, Brett. Come on, Brett. Come on, Brett.
Check the bottom of that bottle.
I don't wanna watch that.
I think Mike's on for you.
Come on, Brett. Come on, Brett. Woo!
Let's go ringer.
We need a past president, Brett. Come on.
He's only got 6 left. He's really making it.
All right.
Really?
Water donut. Shove it down. Come on. Okay, water. Don't worry about your fingers.
We got 4 here.
Come on.
More.
3 here.
Oh, come on, Brett.
Brett, you really made me.
Come on, Brett. Come
How
on.
many has Brett got left?
6, 5, 3.
3 here.
Tim, shove those donuts in your mouth.
No, Brett. Come on. Oh, man. Woo. 2 left.
4 minutes, 16 seconds.
4 minutes and 16 seconds. Tim Gruters with Brett Pollock, fast and quickly behind you.
Have to go in the minutes.
They're a traveling trophy for this?
What I would do for the club.
What you will do for the club, and the club loves you. So if you have donuts left, you can take them with you, because I know you just want to eat the whole box, Mike. So thank you very much for all of you participating. We'll have this as an annual eating contest. So the fair used to have an eating contest, and Danny's gonna probably come and share that about it with us. So we really appreciate it. Tim, you will get to pick the charity of your choice, and I'll let you think about it, and we'll announce it at the end. Okay? All right. So with that, I'm gonna have Andy come up and introduce our speaker.
Thank you, Christy. I'm really excited to introduce Danny Alfonso today. As you can see, I am a member and director of the Manatee County Fair Board. I'm also a member of the Kiwanis Club of Bradenton, so I'm very excited to be here with all of you today. Danny is a good friend of mine. I've known him for years, been on the Fair Board together, but just to give you a little bit of background on Danny. He was born in Manatee County, and he was on February 24th of 1990. Danny married love of his life, Kimberly. And they've been married for 13 years, even though Kimberly says it feels like it's been 70. Danny and Kimberly have one son, Holden, who recently married an amazing lady, Courtney, former Courtney Ogle. Prior to accepting the position at the Fair Board, Danny worked for telecommunications industry, where he's blessed to retire for 32 years of service. He's serviced the community. He's a Little League baseball coach, church softball coach, the 4-A's quality beef project leader, youth Sunday school teacher, Palmetto High School wrestling booster, and the current deacon at the Good Life Church. As a member of several churches, Danny has opportunities to serve by leading others in painting homes, yard cleanup for the elderly, and tree removal. In the service to the Manatee County Fair Association, he served with the Youth Livestock Committee, the steer barn superintendent with his wife Kim from 2001 to 2010, associate director of livestock from 2009 to 11, and director of livestock till 2011 until he accepted the position as fair manager. Please welcome Danny Alfonso. We also have some other board members here with today, Jim and Diana Baker. today. And for the donut contest, we have two contests, eating contests at the fair. We have a corn dog contest, which are Kiwanis corn dogs. I'd love to have you come and compete in that. And we also have a donut eating contest. The donut eating contest is a little twist, or I'll let you figure it out when you get there. But thank you for the opportunity to speak about the upcoming 105th Manatee County Fair, which will be held January 14th through the 24th. And I'd like to begin by sharing the mission statement of the Manatee River Fair Association and share a little history about our fair. The Manatee River Fair Association Incorporated, it's a private not-for-profit corporation, will seek to promote the agriculture and economic strengths of the Manatee County and to highlight Manatee County's rich heritage through the sponsorship of the annual Manatee County Fair and other events throughout the year. The Manatee County Fair will provide a variety of competition and premium award programs, educational exhibits, arts and crafts, entertainment, and organization displays in a family-friendly environment. The operation of the Manatee County Fairgrounds is throughout the year and will further support and enhance the association's promotion of local agriculture, commerce, and history by providing financial support for the annual Manatee County Fair. So now we're going to get a little bit of our history. On October 21st, 1915, the Board of Trade, later to become the Chamber of Commerce, approved a project to hold a Manatee County Fair, which was just prior to the South Florida Fair and Gasparilla Carnival in Tampa. On February 17th, 1916, the organization of a Manatee County Fair Association was effected, and the first fair was held February 28th, 1916. Total premiums that year was $500. Less than a month after the fair closed, the Board of Trade started planning for a municipal-owned park to be used for golf links, a baseball diamond, the county fair, and other field sports. The Adams pasture, part of the estate of the late Major A.J. Adams on 9th Street in Bradenton, later changed to I mispronounced that, on 9th Street in Bradenton, which was later changed to Bradenton. That was comprised of 69 acres and could be purchased for $14,000. How would y'all like to have that purchased today?
Right?
Bradenton voters approved the plans in a special election in May. By October, workers began clearing the land, and fair dates of February 13th through the 16th, 1917 were announced. Contractor E.W. Stoltz of Palmetto was a successful bidder and soon began work on the main exhibit building, which was 40 feet by 120 feet, with booths around the wall. The women's exhibits were to be arranged in a clubhouse planned for both fair and golfing use. A 12-foot porch enclosed the building, and grandstands was constructed for viewers of ball games and fair entertainment. These buildings were erected on the present McKechnie Field site in Lecom Field, so I thought it was very appropriate. The last picture we had, the last speaker presented a picture of Lecom Field back then, so that was about what it looked like. Exhibits were held in January 1942, but the fair was discontinued during the war years, and then it resumed again in 1951. At the war's end, it was learned that the trailer park needed to expand. There followed a property exchange between the city of Palmetto and Manatee County, with the latter getting the land on 17th Street, where the present Agricultural Center covers a large area today. It was through the efforts of the later J.P. Harley Sr., Commission Chairman, and Ed Ayers, County Agent, that the first building was erected in 1951. It was named for the Harley, and the second exhibit hall was for Mr. Ayers. In the years that followed, additional buildings have been erected, which provide the setting for the big and successful fairs that are held in January each year. The Manatee River Fair Association is operated by a board of directors that consists of 30 full directors, and we have 10 associates. They are all elected by the members of the Manatee River Fair Association Incorporated. Officers of the association are elected from the directors, and all citizens of Manatee County are eligible to be members of the Manatee River Fair Association. The day-to-day operations of the Fair Association are managed by myself and Miss Cindy Patterson. And if y'all don't know Miss Cindy, she's been with us for 32 years and she is amazing. I can tell you right now, there's no way I could have gone through this year without her help and support. She really has kept me straight and really helped teach me how to be a fair manager. One of the main purposes of the Manatee County Fair is to promote our agricultural heritage and history by providing the youth of Manatee County the ability to demonstrate their projects. And that's where I'd really like to focus and spend most of my time today, is on the kids and why the fair is so important to them. Most fairgoers don't understand the time, hard work, and record keeping that is associated with raising each project. It doesn't matter if it's a plant, a swine, steer, beef breeding, goats, they all have to keep record books. And part of those record books, they start out with the cost of their animal or the plant, the vet bills, the feed. They keep track of how much feed they are feeding their animal daily, and then of course for the sale animals, as it progresses, their feed changes. They feed them more corn, and they have to manage that and keep track of all of those receipts. So the reason for the record books is multifaceted. One is to teach them responsibility, and the second is it's the basic introduction. It's the introduction to business economics. Most exhibitors, depending on their age, of course, some of them, they start out when they have to be 8 to show. But most of the exhibitors in there, if you ask them how much they had invested in their plant or their animal, they could tell you down to the penny exactly what it has cost them to get that project to the fair. And especially so with for our exhibitors with sale animals, they know exactly what the price per pound is that they need to make to break even. So the record books also help them prepare to apply for scholarships, which I know y'all are very, very familiar with. It is a responsibility of each exhibitor to seek out a buyer for their plant or for their sale animal. And they can either do that via handwritten letter or in person, and they actually go to the prospective buyers and they invite them to come bid on their animal. Now they don't just, when they first go there, they have to tell them about their animal, what it has taken to get them there to that point, and then they invite them to come to sale day and bid on their animal. I think that is probably one of the most important things for our youth, is the opportunity for them to learn how to look an adult in the eye and have a conversation, and what better way to sell than to sell themselves and promote all their hard work and just ask somebody to come bid on their animal. And I think it does a great job preparing them for future job interviews. So all of these requirements, they're intended to provide useful life skills that have truly been proven to help raise productive citizens. In fact, if you go in the barn next week, most of our current exhibitors, our kids, are either children, grandchildren, and even great-grandchildren of past exhibitors. So it's the heritage that has been passed on down for years and years. So this year we have a total of 770 exhibitors of livestock plants and livestock and plants. This year we have 104 beef breeding animals. We have 77 registered steers. We have 106 dairy that is entered. We have 20 dogs, 43 goats. We had 19 horses. The dog show and the horse show was this past weekend. We have 57 poultry, 34 rabbits, 227 swine, and we have 83 plants that have registered this year. So if you're interested in possibly coming to one of the sales or anything regarding the livestock shows, I'd invite you to come go to our website, and there's on the daily schedule, all the livestock events are in there as well. Our arts and craft registration, that actually begins this Saturday and Sunday, so I don't know what those final numbers are. Last year we had approximately 600 arts and crafts entries alone. So there's a lot of children's lives that look forward to our fair each year. And we're just so excited to be able to provide them a venue to be able to demonstrate their animals. And so we're looking forward to that. One of the traditions at the Manatee County Fair that we've had the last several years is our Veterans Tribute Night. And while we understand the health risk associated with COVID-19, we are still hoping to be able to provide an opportunity for the public to show their support of our veterans, yet do it in a safe manner. So this year, on Tuesday, January 19th, we're actually going to have a parade outside the gates of the fairground. And this is going to allow veterans that want to come be part of the Veterans Night and celebration. They can come. We're going to stage them in the Palmetto baseball field parking area. They're going to come down 17th, and then when they get to 13th Avenue, they'll take a right and come down 13th. If they want to, if they feel comfortable and want to come into the fair, we'll escort them right there on 13th at gate 5. We'll escort them to the stage, and they can come be part of the ceremony. If they want to go, if they don't feel comfortable and they want to go home, they can continue on and just know that we appreciated them, and we still have the opportunity to honor them. So we are asking all veterans that are interested in participating in the parade, if you have a mother, father, or a family member, friend that may be interested in this, please have them call the fair office. There's no charge for veterans to be in the parade, and we're just trying to get a number of how many vehicles. Right now we have it set for about 100 vehicles. If we need to make it bigger than that, we will. But we just ask everybody to, if they have a veteran that's interested, please call us at the fair office so we can get them on the RSVP list. The good thing about that Tuesday night is also it's a Palmetto build. That is a free night for all fairgoers. So there's no charge to get into the fair on Tuesday because of Palmetto build. They're a great sponsor every year. And the only thing they're asking this year is we're really going to try to do a canned food drive. So if people, when you come that Tuesday night, January 19th, please bring a canned good, and we'll have bins at the front gates. So this year's entertainment we're going to have Circus Hollywood. And their theme this year is Circus Strong. They are a local Serge Coronas. I'm not sure how many if y'all are familiar with Serge and their family that live out east off of Rye Road. They also they're going to have their Hollywood Racing Pig Show, and they're also doing a camel ride and camel educational show, which I'm really excited about. I don't know that I remember ever seeing in all my years camels actually on the fairgrounds. So we're going to have camels there, but we're also going to have Melman the giraffe. He's a local celebrity. The kids know who Melman the giraffe is. He's out on Rye Road, and he's going to be there. And he's going to be there with all his Jurassic Park zoo friends. So we're going to have a really, really neat petting zoo. We also have Rocket the Robot. He's a fan favorite. Cowboy Circus, which the kids loved him last year. He does rope tricks and things like that. Pork Chop Review. I don't know if anybody watches America's Got Talent, but this is another family that lives here in Manatee County, and they made it to the semifinal of America's Got Talent with their Pork Chop Review, and it's actually pigs that can jump and can push barrels and climb. It's really, really funny. Look that up. It's called Pork Chop Review, America's Got Talent. And of course, and then we're going to have Les McDowell's Cowboy Camp, another local gentleman, and he's going to have the stagecoach and cowboy camp and his food wagon there. And he has some of the best stories about the history of Manatee County and how this was a big town for cattle, and he has all the history on that. We also have contemporary Christian artist Jordan Feliz. He'll be performing January 17th at 7 p.m. And then, of course, everybody knows Dennis Lee. If you've been to our fair, you know Dennis. He's a great entertainer, singer, and comedian. So that rounds out, did I miss anything? I think that rounds out all of our entertainment for this year, along with all the livestock shows, the arts and crafts as well. In closing, with the health concerns associated with COVID-19, our fair is going to look and feel different this year. We have 11 committees that work in conjunction to produce our fair each year, and each committee considers the safety of our guests as well as the exhibitors their top priority, and that has been especially true this year. Every committee has instituted safety protocols specific for COVID-19 for this year's fair. And those include the arts and crafts. In the arts and crafts building, face masks will be required to enter the building, as well as the building's going to be one directional. You know, there's not going to be people coming and going. It's all going to be one directional with social distancing mapped out. Our Veterans Hall, that's going to be the same thing. Face mask required, and that's going to be one directional as well. The livestock area, this year we're only having one animal group in the barn at a time. Normally, on a normal year, we have the steers and the dairy in there at one time. So you heard I had 227 swine plus another 100 head of dairy. That means 330, almost 330 animals in the barn at one time. When you add that or multiply that times one exhibitor and two parents, you're looking at 900 people. So what we have done is there's only one animal area in the barn at a time this year. So that's going to thin out the barn tremendously. Our concessionaires committee, sorry, my phone keeps ringing. Our concessionaires committee, we have reduced. We haven't told any of our vendors that they couldn't come, but we had multiple vendors that had 2 or 3 booths. You have to understand, these vendors, most of these vendors have not worked since March of last year. So I did not want to tell anybody, no, you can't come, but what we did is we asked the ones that had more than one booth just to bring one. And what that's going to allow us to do is separate the vendors out and cue the lines between each booth so that the line is not backing up into the midway area. The midway, when you walk out there, kind of looks like a airport runway. I mean, I have directional arrows everywhere, so you think I'm kidding. We have directional arrows everywhere to try to keep traffic separated. Our midway provider this year is he's going to be utilizing only every other ride. If there's, say there's 9 seats in there, he'll fill all the even number seats first, 1, 3, 5, 7, And then the next cycle ride, he'll fill 2, 4, 6, 8. And then after that, he'll sanitize a ride and then start the cycle over again. So we have put a lot of safety protocols and a lot of thought into preparing for this year's fair. And I've already explained that all the walkways are definitely going to be directional. So in addition, we've been working with our county officials and following safety protocols that are by far going to be able to provide for a socially distanced environment. So we are asking all guests and exhibitors to adhere to the following safety guidelines to attend the Manatee County Fair this year. Face masks are required to enter any buildings on the Manatee County Fairgrounds. Masks are strongly recommended but not required when outdoors when social distancing can be maintained. All attendees are strongly urged to wear a mask whenever and wherever possible. We would ask everybody to follow all directional signage that accommodates for a socially distanced environment. Frequently use the hand sanitizing stations. That's one thing I'm sorry I skipped over. But we have 37 additional hand sanitizing stations. There is going to be hand sanitizing stations everywhere. They're going to be very well marked and readily accessible. So we're asking everybody to use those as well. And lastly, be considerate of others around you and follow the social distancing protocols. And we believe that adherence to these guidelines will assist in our efforts to present a safe and successful fair. So, and in closing, I would really like to thank all of our sponsors who helped make this year's fair possible. Even with COVID, our sponsors have really hung in there with us. So I would ask to go to our website, manateecountyfair.com. Our sponsors will be scrolling across the bottom, and if you see something, if you have electrical needs, we ask you to call Mickey Sauty. Just there's all kinds of different sponsors, and we would just ask that you would help support our sponsors. So thank you for allowing me to share some of our history and why our fair is so important. Thank you. Any questions?
Well, thank you so. Oh, I have a question, Andy.
Can you talk about the VIP luncheon on Thursday?
VIP luncheon, it's our Distinguished Citizen luncheon is this Thursday. Every year, normally we have it on the opening day of the fair. And that's one thing I failed to mention. We are not having the big entertainment tent this year. So we didn't have a place to have the Distinguished Citizen Luncheon without that big tent. So now this year we moved it a week ahead of the fair, and the Distinguished Citizen is an award that we give out every year to someone who has been nominated to us, who gives back to the community. And we had several tremendous candidates this year, and I'm excited to have that VIP Distinguished Citizen luncheon this Thursday.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Well, Danny, we really appreciate you coming and sharing with us. I think I have a golden ruler in there for them.
Yes.
Hang on, don't leave just yet. So, as is the tradition of Kiwanis, we are presenting you with this golden ruler to measure your future success.
Thank you.
And I know the fair is in great hands.
Yes, thank you.
I'd also like to thank the fair board members that came today. There's Andy Miner, Phil Baker, Diana Baker. Thank you all very much for coming and supporting a great organization. So, Tim, did you figure out who you want to, what organization, $1,000?
Yes, I want to thank the Bradenton Kiwanis for allowing me to visit, and for breakfast. I want to thank my fellow eaters. I'd like to donate to the prize to the Guardian Angels of Southwest Florida, which I think goes right along with your guys' mission.
So Tim, if you couldn't hear at home, Tim thanked everybody for breakfast, and
And then he said he wants to have the money donated to Guardian Angels of Southwest Florida, which our club has donated to before. It's a wonderful organization that supports and builds homes for families of foster kids. So wonderful, wonderful organization. So thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. And to our other contestants, I want to thank you very much. I almost feel obligated to give Brett something. We're so close.
He needs a silver sneakers.
Right. So, but I want to thank you three gents for being such good sports and going along with our plan for today. And Tim especially, because he didn't even bat an eye when he said, oh yeah, I'll come. Don't worry, I'll be there. I got your back. Anyway, thank you very much. Let's see. So we went over announcements. Our next meeting is going to be January 12th. It is the First Tee Development Director, Andy Mears, will be coming to speak. They create experiences that build character to empower kids through a lifetime of new challenges and continuous personal growth by seamlessly integrating the game of golf with life skills curriculum. I hope to see you then. If you would like to attend, please make sure to purchase your tickets by Friday, January 8th at 5 p.m. so we have a head count for food. And with that, I hope everyone has a blessed day, and we are adjourned.